So Tracee Ellis Ross was on the Michelle Obama podcast that she shares with her brother Craig Robinson. And Tracee was saying how she only dates younger men because of the toxic masculinity in the men of her own age. First, let me preface this by saying Tracee Ellis Ross can date whoever she wants. She could date young, she could date old, she could date whoever she wants. I have no problem with that. However, I do have a slight problem with her statement. Now, she feels that way, that's fine. That's how she feels, that's great. I just know there's no way a man can get away saying the same thing she said. If a guy said he only dates younger women because of the toxic attitude in women his age, that dude will be blasted from sea to shining sea. Oh my God. There'll be younger women blasting this guy, older women blasting this guy. Say, well, what's wrong with women my age? Like, they'll be trying to cancel him. Like, say the difference between men and women looking at Tracee's comment, some dudes might not like Tracee's comment, but they're not trying to cancel Tracee. Women look at the same comment. If a dude made that same comment, oh, they'd be trying to out get rid of that guy. And most guys would never even feel so emboldened to say anything like this. It's so funny because women are so praising it. Like People magazine, they printed what Tracee was saying, almost in glowing terms. Like, oh my God, she's so brave. The hypocrisy of people is maddening. But again, she could date whoever she wants. I got no problem with that. I remember a couple of years ago, it's funny because Leo DiCaprio, he started dating another younger chick. And I guess somebody did the math because Leo's getting older now. And it's like, oh my God, like they always made around 22 years old, 23 years old, and he's almost near 50, or maybe he is 50. I'm not sure how old he is now. And it's like, oh, people's on up in arms. How come he can't date women his own age and all that stuff? It's like, I don't know. He just dates who he dates. And it usually doesn't work out. And he dates somebody else. But I do think eventually for DiCaprio, I think he's on that Warren Beatty plan. Because Warren Beatty was like him because he had dated Madonna and he broke up with Madonna and he got with Annette Bening. And he's been with Annette Bening for over 30 years, and they got like 4 kids. And there's like a 21-year-old age gap between Warren Beatty and Annette Bening. And I think the same thing's going to happen to DiCaprio. I think eventually DiCaprio is going to meet somebody and settle down and get married. Like George Clooney was like that. George Clooney, he was married before, and he didn't get married till late, to a mall. And now he got 2 kids. Like, so I think for DiCaprio, it's going to be interesting. I think DiCaprio will probably be married in the 60s, while Tracee will still be dating younger guys in her 60s. I hope not, though. I really, to be honest, all jokes aside, like I really want Tracee to meet somebody and not settle down, but meet someone that's good for her. Because they not here in these streets. It's not the business. Because she was saying how younger guys are cool with gender fluidity. And it's like, okay. So listen, if you're gender fluid, that's fine. I got no problem with it. Do what you got to do. But if I'm a person who don't date dudes, that makes me toxic. So for me not to be toxic, I gotta be cool with dating dudes. I'm not sure what she's saying. I'm not sure what the discussion is. And another thing that's weird, if you talk to any young lady that's in high school or college or a young professional, any girl who's 15 to 35 or under 40 years old, I'm sure they can complain about the guy that she's dating. For the life of me, I don't know why Tracee feels like younger dudes can't be toxic. Like the thing about us Gen Xers is that, you had the stuff like cheating and stuff like that. That was always popping around. But we didn't have as much baby mama drama. It was almost like the beginning of baby mama drama. But these younger dudes, they got baby mama drama all the time. Even when I look at the NBA, got the NBA right now. You got, Zion Williamson, he got baby mama drama. And Ant-Man, he got consistent baby mama drama. I don't know what Tracee got this thing where young guys can't be toxic. That doesn't make any sense to me. But another thing that doesn't make any sense to me, we got in this weird space in society. And maybe it's always been this way, but we got into this weird space where men are all toxic Any problems that's in a relationship is always men. It's always the divorces that happen, the relationships. Like, all guys are toxic and women are completely sweet and kind. It doesn't work that way. My grandmother told me that wasn't good. My grandma was from the South and she was like, don't believe them girls. Listen, man, we're all human beings. Shocker, right? We're all human beings. We're all made in God's image. And if that's true, we all got faults. There's good guys and bad guys. There's good women and bad women. There are no relationships at all where there's maybe some, but most of them where there's some equal blame or some equal flaws in everybody. Talk to any couple that you know that's actually working. There's some things that she don't like about him, and there's some things about him that he don't like about her. This whole thing about, oh my God, it's all the dude's fault, and oh my God, I'm so sweet and innocent and kind. It's just like, no, papi, no. I'm sure with Tracee, if you talk to some of Tracee's exes, I'm sure they will say like, listen, I love Tracee. Tracee's great, but there are some things. There are some things about Tracee that I didn't like, and he would say, and I'm sure, and you know what? There's some things about me that she probably doesn't like. I just wish sometimes when people say these things, they're completely honest. Because I see a lot of women in the comments and they were saying like, oh my God, I want to be just like Tracee. I want to be like Joan because she played Joan on Girlfriends. I want to be just like her. And it's like, I wish sometimes, and Tracee is honest sometimes about this. So Tracee's dating these younger dudes. She's having a good time. But I'm sure there's times that she's lonely. I'm sure when she talks to these young dudes that sometimes they don't catch the references that she catches sometimes if they're not super young, but kind of younger than her and they don't get some things. And maybe some of the young dudes aren't able to stop by and she's by herself watching Netflix. Like, you can't tell me that her life is so perfect that she does all this traveling and all this success that she doesn't feel sad or lonely sometimes. Everybody gets lonely sometimes. And there's another thing where she said she doesn't want to meet the wrong partner. And it's like, well, that's the risk. There's a lot of really good relationships out there. And a lot of women are saying the same thing. So, well, yeah, I want to get into something. I meet the wrong person. I think the problem that we got today is there's people have grown up in society where it's more single parent households and you don't see really loving relationships. Well, like when I was younger, I'm not saying all these marriages were great. Like during the holiday season, like, it was like Easter. Like if I go to my grandparents' house, I'll see my aunts and uncles and cousins. And there might be a few that's single, but everybody was together. And not to say every marriage was great, but everybody's laughing and joking, having a good time. I think the younger generation, they've grown up with not seeing healthy, loving relationships. So when I see some of these women cheering Tracee on, saying like, oh, I want to be like her. Well, that's Tracee's experience. But it's not like it's a perfect experience. Like Tracee, like everybody else, is painting the best version of her life, which is fine, which I'm fine with. But it doesn't mean her life is perfect. Like maybe I'm different. Like I don't want to be 60 years old and dating out here because that seems like a very lonely experience because you're increasingly getting older. Like people that I look at that I like looking at couples. I like seeing Courtney B. Vance and Angela Bassett. Like they started off as friends because Courtney was into Angela, but Angela, she had a lot of suitors and, Courtney couldn't get in there. And then eventually they got together and they've been married for over 20 years. Or if you go younger, like I love Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens as a couple. And if this was like 20 years ago, they would have been couples goals for a lot of young folks. But because everything's been so skewed over the years, whenever people talk about Jonathan and Simone, it's always like some type of critique. Like it's so wild. Like they would critique Simone's hair when she was in the Olympics like years ago. Or when the one time when Jonathan said he was the prize. I knew he was joking. And Simone said he was joking. But women got all upset with with Jonathan saying that. And every time I see Simone and Jonathan, they always look happy. He went out to the Olympics to support her. She always support him in NFL. Like they're a happy, loving couple. But unfortunately, most young folks don't see a couples like that anymore. They just don't. And they've grown up in an era of loving basketball and Basketball Wives and Real Housewives, where, yeah, you had some couples that's working, but they see a lot of toxic couples that's always fighting and arguing. And I think that's what people have grown to see over the years. Like even with Tracee, her parents got Diana Ross and her father, Robert. They got married in 1971. Tracee was born in 72. And her parents got divorced in 77. And Tracee is a child of divorce. And I looked up the stats. And I think they said only like 40% of kids of divorce get married. Now, I'm not saying that's Tracee's issue. But if you're a child of divorce and you see your mom over here and your dad over here, you got a skewed view of what a relationship worked. And I'm sure her parents got along well, but they were separate. Maybe that's part of who Tracee is. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Do you support Tracee? Like, she can date whoever she wants, but I don't know. I think she's having a fine life. I just hope she don't have a lonely life down the road. In your 50s, it's cool. In your 60s,